Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jody. My husband David John and I have a small farm in the panhandle of North Idaho. These are our stories and adventures, so on to today's adventure. So let's start with the older, I'm going to call them the juvenile babies. They have been moved out here, and I made a nursery because you got the brooder and then they would go into a nursery. So we did turn the clear shed, got the black fencing and a gate, but turned out here into a nursery for the Orloffs, the couple barnyard, and the 2 turkey pullets. But they're really liking being out here. And we did wind up having to put a heat light in the corner just because it was warm at night, and then all of a sudden it started to freeze at night, and it was just getting too cold, and I was worried because don't want to lose any. So David John helped me get a light strung out there and safely hooked up. But let's go in and take a look at what I've got going on in the brooder. Because as you saw a couple videos ago that I had picked up 2 African geese, which are nice and fat. And I did find out doing some research that goslings should be on green bedding, so like hay or alfalfa instead of pine chips, because they like to peck and eat, and the pine chips can make them impacted. So I did pick them up a bale of compressed alfalfa, but in here get my camera set up and show you guys what I got. So as you see, I got more babies than what I had. So these little 3 are, Belano. These are Chinese crested. Valkyrie did hatch out 3. I was going to leave them with Valkyrie because I only thought she had the 1. And then I found 2 more under Allison. And I'm like, no, they're going to get pulled. Size comparison. The Chinese is about 24 hours old. Whoa, watch out, TikTok. And this big baby is 2 weeks old now. But this little one is a Emden that David John brought home last night. So he's probably about 72 hours old. The reason we got him was where David John works, they said that he was sick and wasn't doing well, and they had him in the nursery. He was the only one in there. They didn't expect him to make it through the night. So David John was like, I'll take him home. So David John brought this little one home last night. He's been eating, drinking, and looks really good. But the 4 babies in here are doing really good. Yeah. Bella out. So one thing they say is that you should not have goslings with baby chicks because goslings are going to get bored and pick at the baby chicks and kill them. I have not seen any of that at all. The baby chicks just climb all over the two bigger goslings, and these guys are just working out really good together, which is so nice to see. So, as you just saw, that little clip was taken a week ago, and it's amazing how fast things change in a week on the farm. Let me show you what I mean. So, the brooder is cleaned out and ready for the next round of babies, which should be 2 bourbon red turkey pullets. A friend of David John from his work, that's what he does in the spring to make a little extra money, is he breeds his turkeys and incubate the eggs out, if I can talk today. So we're getting 2 of them from him. And last week, David John opened the gates for the baby chicks to be out with everybody. So they're off the heat light and running around everywhere. Took down part of the fence here. They still sleep where the heat light was. I'd hope they'd calm down, but I brought the playpen out into the lean-to on the side of the Ziggy shed and have moved all the goslings and the 4 baby chicks out here. Betty did hatch out another gosling this morning, so I've got the 4 Chinese crested, the 2 Africans, and the Emden. And Valkyrie and Betty have just been hanging out around the babies. So I'll take you in there and I'll do music over it because the boys are proud daddies. But on other exciting news, I've had 2 Mama Muscovies. I believe it's just 2. The second one I'm going to show you, I thought wound up being 3 different Muscovy hens hatching out. No, the baby chicks or baby ducklings were just going under whatever mom they were nearest and was on a nest. So that mom has finally reclaimed them. But the black and white one in the White House. Are you going to show us your babies, Mama? You going to show us your babies? She's not going to show us. We just want to see the babies. And I don't have gloves on. Okay. Come on, Mama. Oh. Well, there's all of her babies. Looks like I'm going to have to get out here and clean up some eggs. But she's a good mama. She's been keeping them away from everybody else so they don't get confused. But in here was the one mama that did hatch out. She's going to stand between me and the camera. But she's got 5 little, almost all white ones. So that's the second batch, or that was the first batch that hatched. The black and white hen, she hatched yesterday. But, and I don't know if you guys will be able to tell, but as I trip over a rock, David John did go through with the disker, and he disked the whole driveway or runway area, as we call it, and over there, just trying to break up some of the winter goo layer, and maybe the grass will come back, fingers crossed. But in the garden, made some progress ahead, have been actually working on doing a bunch of prep work for several projects that I have coming up. So let me show you where the raised beds are at, besides in the garden. So got them all filled up and covered with shavings till the point that I ran out of shavings. But in the don't see any corn coming up or potatoes yet, but the sunflowers are starting to come up. You can see the bits of green there. Those are the sunflowers starting to poke their, where's that? Starting to poke their heads through. But like I said, when I planted the corn, I didn't pre-soak it, so it will take a little longer to germinate. And then give you a hint on a project that I've got coming up, or just something I need to get done. But right here in front of this bed, I've planted that planter that's the bottom is all rusted out on it, so it goes down about 6 inches into the ground. And I did a mix of that sunshine potting mix and the good garden soil, just because it is in a pot, but it is eventually going to be rooted into the ground for a really cool plant. For this little guy, he is a weeping pussy willow. The pussy willow part has been grafted onto, and you can see where the graft is, has been grafted onto hardy rootstock. So it shouldn't get very big, especially they say that after it does the pussy willow parts and starts to leaf out, that you're supposed to trim the runners, and it will just get bushier and bushier. So that's what's going to go into that pot with some flowers, just to have a point of interest right there. Well, this is where I'm going to end today's video. I know a little on the short side, but sometimes short and sweet is really good. So I do have a bunch of projects in the works, like I was saying. I've been just working on the prep work, getting stuff bought and here, so when I've got my week's vacation, I can just run through my checklist of to-do projects and take you guys along. So have a good day and a good week. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and back with you guys with the next adventure.